Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive with us.
Yeah.
We love to pick a source and just go deep on it.
Yeah, really dissect it and kind of see what we can pull out of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, today we are talking about some seriously strange things seen in the sky. The source we're using is an audio clip called Five Strangest Things That Mysteriously Appeared in the Sky. And just, before we get started, I think it's worth saying,
A little disclaimer.
yeah, a little disclaimer that, we are just exploring what this source is saying,
Yeah.
not necessarily endorsing all of its conclusions.
Yeah, for sure. We're diving into the content, but take it all with a grain of salt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So with that said, are you ready to get a little weirded out?
Always.
All right. So our first sighting takes us to beautiful Bermuda back in 2014. Picture a calm evening. People are out enjoying the sunset when suddenly this massive light appears on the horizon. And this thing, it illuminated the entire ocean beneath it.
I mean, can you imagine seeing that?
Oh my gosh, it would be incredible. And to get this, the light, it didn't move. It just kept getting brighter and brighter. And then poof, gone, vanished without a trace.
Just like that.
Yeah. And to make things even stranger, people on boats 15 miles away saw it too.
Wow. So whatever this was, it must have been huge.
Right. Now, the official explanation was that it was a plane disappearing over the horizon. But I don't know about that. What do you think? Could a plane really do that?
I'm not so sure. A plane's lights wouldn't get brighter as it flies away and it wouldn't just hover in the air like that before suddenly dropping below the horizon.
Yeah, that and the sheer size of this light. I mean, it had to be enormous.
Yeah, the plain explanation doesn't quite cut it for me.
No, it really doesn't.
Hmm.
And we're talking about the Bermuda Triangle here, a place already famous for mysterious disappearances and strange events. Plus, there's a former U.S. Naval Air Station right there on the islands.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what else might be going on out there, right?
It certainly adds to the mystery.
So from the ocean depths, we now go to the vast expanse of space. It's June 2015, and people are watching NASA's live feed when suddenly they see three objects hurtling towards Earth.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I know. And these things were moving at over 14,000 miles per hour.
That's incredibly fast.
Yeah, many times the speed of sound.
I mean, if those were large objects, that could have been a really serious impact event.
Yeah, it's pretty scary to think about. At first, people thought maybe it was a plane breaking apart. But then to add to the mystery, NASA abruptly cuts the feed and launches an investigation.
Oh, so they knew something was up.
Right. It all seems a little suspicious.
Yeah.
Of course, the official explanation later came out that it was just space debris burning up in the atmosphere,
Mm.
which, that's a whole other conversation about the dangers of space debris.
Oh, absolutely. We're talking about a growing cloud of junk up there that poses a real threat to astronauts and future space missions.
Yeah, it's something we definitely need to be more careful about. All right, so for our next sighting, we're heading to the West Coast, November 2015, Los Angeles. Thousands of people are going about their night when suddenly this bright blue streak shoots across the sky. No warning, no explanation, just a sudden flash of light.
I bet people were freaking out.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Yeah.
So it turns out this light show was caused by a week-long military training operation happening off the coast. And, this operation also led to temporary no-fly zones around LAX airport.
Interesting. So it's just the military doing some drills.
That's what they said.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. The Navy's official response was that this was a routine action. Routine. A giant blue streak across the sky. I don't buy it.
Yeah, I mean, it does make you wonder why they didn't give the public any kind of heads up.
Exactly. It all seems a little hush-hush, don't you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, listeners, are you ready for another one? This time, we're in Nevada, July 2016. People are reporting this strange object falling from the sky, looking all twisted and ominous. And even a Fox News reporter chimed in, speculating that it could be debris from a Chinese rocket.
Oh, wow. So this was making national news.
It was. Now, Nellis Air Force Base, which happens to be in Nevada,
Yeah.
they quickly denied any involvement. And they claimed it was probably just a meteor.
A meteor, huh?
Yeah, and to be fair, this did happen during the Delta Aquariid meteor shower, so it's not totally out of the question.
Right.
But part of me wonders, could it have been something else?
Like what?
Maybe a cover-up for a failed experimental aircraft test. I mean, Nellis is known for its advanced aircraft development.
Yeah, that's true. It's definitely possible.
Okay, so our final sky sighting for this part of the deep dive takes us back to the West Coast, February 2017, this time in the Bay Area. And get this, people are freaking out about another streaking object in the sky.
Another one. What is it with the West Coast and strange lights?
I don't know, but it seems like there's something in the air out there. So this particular object was later identified as a Trident II missile test, launched from a submarine off the coast of California.
Missiles again. You'd think by now people would recognize a missile test when they see one.
You'd think so, but I guess aliens are just more exciting.
True.
So the Navy again insisted that this test was routine and not in relation to any perceived threat.
Routine. They keep using that word.
I know, right? It's almost like they're trying a little too hard to downplay things.
Yeah, it does seem a bit suspicious.
It really does. And it kind of raises a bigger question about the increasing frequency of these missile tests globally. I mean, are we really headed towards a more unstable future, or are these tests just a way for countries to flex their military muscle?
It's a good question, and one that we should probably be paying more attention to.
Absolutely. It's interesting, isn't it, how these missile tests, which are, presented as routine and non-threatening, they often trigger a wave of UFO sightings.
Yeah, it's like clockwork.
Right. I mean, it says something about our, fascination with the unknown.
Yeah, our inherent curiosity and maybe even a little bit of anxiety about what might be out there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, are we alone, or is there something else out there watching us?
Yeah.
We saw this with a few of the sightings we talked about,
Sure.
like the Nevada object and the speculation about it being a Chinese rocket.
Oh, yeah, good point. That really shows how quickly we can jump to conclusions.
And how important it is to think critically and seek out reliable information.
Absolutely, especially in today's world where misinformation can spread so easily.
So how do we do that? How do we distinguish between genuine mystery and events that have more grounded explanations?
Well, I think it's a delicate balance between skepticism and open-mindedness. We need to be willing to question what we see and hear, but also be open to the possibility that some things might defy our current understanding.
It's like walking a tightrope.
Yeah, it is.
Between being overly gullible and being completely closed off to new ideas.
Yeah, right. And it's not always easy to find that sweet spot.
Especially when you're dealing with something as unknown and mysterious as space.
Yeah, exactly. And we have to be aware of, our own biases and the influence of external factors.
No.
Like media sensationalism or cultural narratives.
So even something as seemingly objective as a streak of light in the sky can be interpreted in vastly different ways, depending on our preconceived notions and the information we're exposed to.
Yeah, absolutely. Our perceptions aren't always reliable.
So how much of this is psychological then?
Oh, I think a lot of it is. We're storytelling creatures. We're wired to find patterns and meaning in the world around us.
Even when they might not be there.
Right. And sometimes the allure of the extraordinary, of encountering something truly alien, can be irresistible.
Yeah, it's like our imaginations go into overdrive.
Right. It's like those optical illusions where our brains try to make sense of random shapes, and suddenly we see a face or an animal.
And we're convinced it's real.
Exactly. Our minds are constantly seeking patterns, even when there might not be any.
So we need to be mindful of how our perceptions can shape our understanding of the world.
Yes, but at the same time, I think it's important not to dismiss the possibility of the truly unexplained.
Right. Just because we haven't found an answer yet doesn't mean there isn't one out there.
Exactly. The history of science is full of examples of phenomena that were once considered inexplicable, but were later explained through, scientific inquiry and discovery.
So it might seem impossible today could be commonplace tomorrow.
Right. So we need to approach these sky sightings with a critical eye, but also maintain a sense of wonder and curiosity.
Because who knows what we might discover?
Exactly. The universe is full of surprises.
We've seen some pretty wild stuff, haven't we? From mysterious lights to fast-moving objects, and even some missile tests that, had people wondering if we were being visited by aliens.
Yeah, I mean, it really makes you realize that there's still so much we don't know about the world around us.
And especially about what's happening up there in the sky.
Oh, absolutely. The sky is a vast and mysterious place.
And, it's easy to get caught up in all the speculation and the what-ifs.
Especially when it comes to UFOs and alien encounters.
Right. But I think it's important to remember that, most of these sightings probably have pretty rational explanations.
Yeah, more often than not, it turns out to be something like a meteor or a satellite or even a weather balloon.
Exactly. But that doesn't mean we should stop being curious or stop exploring the possibilities.
Oh, no, not at all. I think it's that curiosity that drives us to learn and to make new discoveries.
And who knows, maybe one day we will find evidence of extraterrestrial life.
Yeah, that would be incredible.
But until then, I think it's important to approach these sky sightings with a healthy dose of skepticism.
Yeah, we need to be critical thinkers and evaluate the evidence carefully.
But at the same time, we should also be open to new ideas and not dismiss things out of hand
Yeah.
just because they seem strange or unusual.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance between skepticism and open-mindedness.
And never losing that sense of wonder.
Because that's what makes life interesting, right? The
Yeah.
possibility that there might be something more out there, something beyond our current understanding.
Absolutely. So keep looking up, keep asking questions, and keep exploring the mysteries of the universe.
And who knows what you might find.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into mysterious sky sightings. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.